Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But let's talk about your teaching experience. You're a math teacher, and for many students, their experience in the math classrooms has not been positive. You've heard this, I'm sure, ad nauseum. But you make math fun. And how did you develop that approach to take on a subject where far too many students are conditioned to believe they can't do math even before they start the classroom, and yet you bring out excitement in the classroom while teaching math?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly try to. I think that our culture is really interesting when it comes to mathematics because it's really normal to be like, I'm a math person or I'm not a math person. It's not normal to be like, I can't read, and so there's this really interesting sort of juxtaposition for me that our culture is sort of okay in a way with like innumeracy, or a lack of math affinity. And
why is that?
It's a great question. I'm not really sure. I think part of it is how we teach mathematics in this country. I think mathematics to me is so creative and it is so broad, and we tend to just kind of teach very, very small pieces of really the broader picture of math. So I think that's part of it is how math is taught in this country is really black and white. And to me, what I hope, I have both a bachelor's and a master's in math. So what I love about math is that it transports me, right? Like transports me kind of like when we read a book, right? It transports us to another world. Math to me transports me into my own self. And there's this really like rhythmic, meditative quality to math. And moving so often, math was sort of one of my constants, right?
Wow.
And it's something that was really healing for me. And so that's what I really want my students to experience is sort of this rhythmic, meditative aspect of math that sort of allows us to just kind of go deep inside ourselves. And then also the really collaborative and problem-solving aspect of mathematics. But we can talk all about that. And then the thing is, though, is that I think we can't capture our kids' minds until we capture their hearts. And so to me, it all comes back down to that, is knowing my students first and foremost as human beings and learning their stories before I learn about them as students. So one of the things I do is I invite all of my students to come share their story during non-instructional time, like before school, after school, during lunch, and just learn about them as human beings because, kids spell love Time, right? And so when I give them like a little bit of my time and I say that they are valued, first and foremost, just for who they are as humans, then they really trust me, right? And I can push them pretty hard in the mathematics because they know Mrs. P's on my side, right? She's not going to ask me to do something that she doesn't think I'm capable of. So first and foremost, to make math exciting, I first have to get to know who my students are, right? I mean, it's cliche, but it's true. Like, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's powerful. In fact, I wish you were my math teacher when I was in the second grade. And my second grade teacher said to me, and I'll never forget this, well, Kevin, some of us aren't good at math.
I mean, what absolute
and Rebecca, I grew up in a family where my father was a pharmacist, my sister was a biochemist, another sister accountant. My younger brother went to science fair. I was the outlier who was not and I really do think, and my sister agrees with me, that it dates back to that second grade teacher.
100%.
who
100%.
told me I wasn't good in math.
How we speak to our kids becomes their inner voice, right? Like, it matters, and that's what I try to teach our parents as well. Like, how we talk about our own math identity really matters. So like, maybe let's not say I'm not a math person, because then sometimes our kids think that as well. And everybody's a math person. Like, if you can do some math and you can breathe, like, you are a math person.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll just audit one of your classes. I just
come on over to Tulsa.
Thanks for listening to What I Want to Know. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app, so you can explore other episodes and dive into our discussions on the future of education. And write a review of the show. I also encourage you to join the conversation and let me know what you want to know using hashtag WIWTK on social media. That's hashtag WIWTK. For more information on Stride and online education, visit stridelearning.com. I'm your host, Kevin P. Chavous. Thank you for joining What I Want to Know.